Doreen Grand-Pichet is the
Dr. Doreen is an expert in autism.
Doreen Grand-Pichet.
Dr. Grand-Pichet.
Dr. Doreen Grand-Pichet.
Dr. Doreen Grand-Pichet is a visionary in the field of autism. Now you can ask her questions on Ask Dr. Doreen.
NH says, my 4-year-old can do so much more language, cognitively, socially with me or therapists one-on-one than at preschool. They're in a classroom of 12 that's a special ed classroom where other kids overwhelm him socially and sensory-wise. Will this improve over time? I love this question because it comes right to the heart of a lot of what happens for our very young kiddos in school that isn't effective. So, right. Dr. Grand-Pichet, help us.
So, there's two things I want to say about this. First of all, no, it's not going to improve because your child is, looking around and there's a combination of things that you mentioned. One is there's modeling possibly because the child might see other kids kind of acting out and getting things they want. And so that's the modeling side of it. The other side of it is that our children are sensory sensitive in some cases, and other kids screaming and, running around and that sort of thing might be very, very disturbing to your child. And as I said, all they're trying to communicate is that this is not good for, I am having a really hard time here. And so I can't focus, and it's not an environment. I sometimes when I do an intake, like when I used to do diagnostic intakes or even just evaluations, I remember one time I had a hour and a half long clinic with one mom who had 3 children on the spectrum with her, right? And I was one by one going through and diagnosing each one. I think it was like almost 2 hours. And I'm telling you, when I came out of there, I was completely overwhelmed. And I thought to myself, how does she handle that? It is tremendously difficult. And so, with our kids, imagine if they are sensitive from a sensory perspective and they are exposed to screaming sounds and sudden movements and sudden things that are going on. And it's very, very disturbing. Now, another thing that is also the case is that a lot of times in school, people don't expect a lot of our kids. Our kids, in therapy and with you, and you're pushing your child and you're modeling and teaching and you're getting the best out of them and you're continuously pushing them forward. But a lot of times in school, when there's like one teacher and possibly one aide and there's 20 kids and it's a special environment where there's a lot going on, no one's really expecting a lot out of the child either. So the child, this is called behavioral contrast. The child learns that in that environment, I can tune out, or I can, I don't have to respond. I don't get my reinforcers here anyway. It's like a negative environment for me. No one really asks me the things that I know. So their behavior deteriorates. So, the short answer is no, things are not going to improve. I suggest that you really try to find a better placement. When children are, did the family say how old the child is, Shannon?
4. So 4-year-old.
So that's awesome that your child is 4. And I asked you if it's possible for the child to be in a less restrictive environment. So in other words, is it possible for your child to be in a regular education classroom with an aide? Now, the school district might fight you on that because they don't want to pay for the aide, but you'll win that fight if you do it right. And the bottom line is it's always better for our kids, especially kids who are responding to one-to-one therapy. If your child's responding and doing well, then it's very important to push them and keep them motivated and not put them always put them in an environment that is a little bit higher so they're learning from their environment. And I guess that means that you'd want to get an aide who can help the child in the classroom. Your school district is responsible for that paying for that. You would have to call an IEP. And I think, do you and Bonnie still kind of review those procedures, Shannon?
Yes, we do. She's got a whole playlist on our YouTube that's Bonnie Yates, Know Your Rights, where you can catch up and we don't have Bonnie on this month because of the holidays. She'll be back in January, but you can still send questions in, specific questions for Bonnie Yates. She's a special education attorney to answer all these types of questions. But lots of us have fought and won to have the one-on-one aid.
Yeah.
But because this child is 4, and I want to get to, Jenny has written in, and I want to get to your comment, Jenny. I'm going to, as a parent of a young man who started intensive good quality ABA when he was 3 and is now a freshman in college, I'm going to say that if you can get good quality intensive ABA at 4, in my opinion, that's a better use. And I'm a former teacher. I love school. I'm not saying anything against school, but in that age range.
If you found anything helpful in this video, please give us a like. In fact, make sure that you smash that subscribe button on YouTube and give us a like on Facebook. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram for important updates. And please download our free podcast wherever you get your podcasts. See you next time. Until then, give your kiddos a hug from me and one for you too. Bye-bye for now.
To subscribe, click here. And if you'd like to check out some more of our videos, click here.